Hi everyone. Yeah, it's me again, Kezia. You probably have seen me a couple of times during this week, but I know the refugee week ends yesterday. But we still have a couple of my friends who are keen to teach. Um, so today we have Sharon with me, who is a medical student, a doctor to be. I'll let her explain more about herself in a bit, but she has put some thoughts into this lesson. She has given her time to share this. So thank you so much, Sharon, and I'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Kija. Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon, and I'm from Indonesia as well. And as Kija has said, I am a medical student in University of Indonesia, currently in my last year of studying. But because of the current situation, everyone knows it's kind of getting delayed. So I have been exploring a lot about art, and I am enjoying photography at the moment, especially street photography and also taking photos of people. And I know that taking photos might be considered luxury because people are using big cameras and really sophisticated cameras. So today I just want to share with you that photography does not need to be complicated. It does not need to be difficult. Everyone can take photos, good photos with a phone, and with a smartphone. Uh, this guide will be hopefully helpful for you to start a new hobby with me. Okay, let's begin with the lesson. So the first thing is a quote that I really like about photography by Dorothea Lange. It says that photography takes an instant out of time and altering life by holding it still. You know how life can be busy sometimes, and it's hard to be in the moment, but taking photos actually help us to realize that some things can stay still and some things can be you can come back to the moment again when you look at the photos, and I really like that part of photography. And so a lot of people might ask, why photography? You can just take random photos with your phone, but it can be actually a hobby where you can explore more things about taking photos rather than just making the time still. So it can also be an art. It is also a communication where people can share what they see from with their eyes and keeping them as a photos and share it with other people, and also as a keepsake. So in 10 years time or 20 years time, you're able to come back to this moment and refeel the moment itself. Yeah. So as I mentioned in the beginning, some people have very big cameras, but actually in the modern times, a lot of people choose to use phone to take pictures because phones are small and it is easy to carry around, and it does not have a lot of manual features, so you're able to use a lot of automatic features from the phone itself. So young people, especially 85% in the world, are actually taking photos, digital photos with their smartphones. But how do we start? Like people just take random photos, but actually there are skills to it, and so I'm gonna teach you that. So the first thing about photography is the lighting. So light is a key ingredient to a good photography, and the light that every photographer likes is natural lighting, which comes from the sun, and it is abundant and free. You can find it especially in daylight, and throughout the day lighting will be different. And I personally like taking photos in the morning because the sunlight is at its brightest, and it's not that hot yet to be outside. And this photo, the first photo on top, is a photo of me and Keisha and other friends actually, and it is taken during daylight. So you can see that the color is very beautiful. You can see features of the face, and it's just very natural looking. And the picture at the bottom, you can see that it is actually taken after 3 p.m. It was taken in Iceland. So the daytime in Iceland is actually pretty short, especially during winter. And so it is dark and it has the darker vibe to it. It does not mean that it is not nice, but it just have different feeling to each photo taken during different time of the day. And if you take it in the room, as you can see this video, the vibe will be slightly yellower because of the light. And if you choose a white light, it will look even brighter. So lighting is very important, because actually when you take photo, what happens is that light travels across into the camera, and the camera will stop the light and capture the light and turns it into image digitally. So some people may say when there's no light, there's photography. Is correct, because photography is all about lighting. And moving on the other side, beside lighting, there is also shadow. So you can manipulate the lighting and how you expose the light into the camera to create a shadow. So let's say the first picture that you see on the screen is where the lighting is from the back. So it will be a backlight photo where the person in the photo a silhouette, which shadow in a sense, where you can only see a black image of that person with a lighting from the back. It is similar to the one at the right side of the screen, where it is actually taken in Newcastle in the Tyneside River during sunset. So the light will be captured right in the middle, and with the backlight, your person will be black. And for the picture in the middle, it's taken at home. You can play with the object, where the object will be on below the light. So you will have a shadow on the table where you can take pictures of food or anything on the table with a shadow on it. And it will be quite nice. So you can manipulate the lighting and the exposure of the shadow to create a more dramatic effect to the photo. And it will actually shows that your photo will have a deeper meaning to it because you play with the shadow. And next will be the angle. As you can see, the two pictures are taken in the same, but you can see that one of the picture at the right, I look a bit more fat and a bit more unflattering, like not that nice in the sense. And in the middle, the picture looks, I look a bit taller and I look slimmer, and that is all about angle. So the angle marks a specific location where the camera will take the shot, and it will provide a different effects to the viewers. So let's say you know how when you open the front camera accidentally on your phone, when you're holding your phone below, you will look fat with your double chin, and it just doesn't look nice. But when you move your phone to a certain angle, it will look nice because the features will be sharper of your chin and everything. And for this picture, you can actually manipulate them by turning your phone upside down.
Oh, interesting.
So normally people will take picture like this, upright, right? But if you take it upside down, the camera will be below. The camera will be below, and your body will look longer. Your body will look longer, and the photo will be straight, more straight, if that makes sense. So the person, if you are taking a picture of a person, usually people will like it to be at an angle of your chin, so your phone is here. But at this angle, the person will look short. So if you turn it around at this angle, the camera will be in the middle of the person, like at the center of the person. So the person will look taller and prettier. I actually like my photos to be taken upside down.
That's really smart. I'll keep that in.
And then the next is the focus. So the focus is taken when the light is all centered towards that particular image. So with the phone, especially nowadays, smartphone have a feature called is it called portrait version? Some phones might have it, but otherwise, with your phone, you can choose to focus on something by pressing on that image, and there will be a box where you can see it should be yellow or green box in some phones, and that is where you will choose your focus. And as you see this image in a camera, people will say it is as bokeh. Is that a word? Bokeh? Is that an English word? Yeah, so the background will be blurred as it is seen in this picture, and only the person or the object will be in focus. So it will create a depth in the picture because you will have different length, different location objects to be seen. Okay, and next will be props. Some people may like the pictures to be plain in a landscape form, but props can actually add character or interest to the photo itself. So to a scene, it will add context. Like for example, the first picture taken is taken with fairy lights, where you actually put it around the Christmas tree, but you can wrap it around yourself or wrap it on the object, and it will create a nice fairy feeling. And yeah, so it will create a new story to the picture. Or let's say you have a white background and just a pretty plain picture, but you want to add some colors into it. You can use a rainbow umbrella, or maybe when it is raining and the mood is very low and very sad, you can actually use colors to color props to actually enhance your image, so that it will have a nicer meaning as well. And the last one is editing. And I believe that editing is quite important, especially nowadays. And there are a lot of features of editing that can be done. You can make a picture smaller, or you can zoom it and crop it. And some pictures may be slanted and you won't like it, so you return a bit of the picture and you adjust the white balance. White balance means that the color can be warmer or cooler, so it is slightly yellowish, or you want to make it cooler and make it slightly bluish. Personally, I like my pictures to be bluish, and so with the white balance, I always decrease it. And exposure is where the brightness of the photo, you can make it brighter or you can make it darker. And for the contrast is between an object and the background. So if you increase the contrast, it will be you will see the object clearer than the background. And for the saturation is the color. If you want it to be livelier and you want the red to come out, like the color red to come out, you will increase the saturation and the vibrancy. And sharpness will be how the object is compared to the background as well. And but honestly, these days some people actually don't do all those complicated stuff and just use filter. You can download an app, you can use computer and phone, and download apps such as VS Code or Lightroom. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, and you can use filter. For example, the pictures I show, the before after, they're both same picture, but I just changed the colors with filters from VS Code app, and it just looks livelier and the color is more vibrant. And because I say just now I like blue color, so I make it more blue, and yeah, it looks nicer than and more presentable than before. And so that's basically the basics of photography with your phone. And I hope that it is useful for you guys to explore a new hobby, and you will enjoy photography more with me. Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm sure that it'll be useful because I just found a couple of new tricks as well that I might use. I'd like to ask you some question if that's okay with you. Maybe first is why did you get into photography?
That's an interesting question. So actually, I've been exposed to photography since young because my dad loves to take pictures as well, and he would always make me stand at one corner. Come, let's take picture. And at first, I was when I was young, I was very annoyed by that. I think a lot of people do that. I like that too because it's quite troublesome. And sometimes you don't look pretty enough for a picture, but you are forced to do it. But after a few years, and when I grow older, my dad showed me the pictures when I was young. You see, we went here, we were here before, you did this in this place, and it just become something that is very memorable to me. So that's where I start to take more photos, so that in 20 years time I will show my children this is where I was and what I did, and I think that is very meaningful.
Yeah, that's true. I took photos as well, and then I sometimes look back and like see how precious the moment is. So I really enjoy that as well. I was wondering about what is your favorite subject to take photo of?
I actually like taking people as the object in the camera, because for street photography will be different, where people will take landscape and random people in the street. But for me, I think portrait pictures are more meaningful because I can take picture of people I know, and as I said before, it's for memory as well. And but sometimes I'd like to experiment, because like in this picture I took this in Iceland. I found a random stone which is quite beautiful for me, so I just randomly took a picture of it. So actually for me it's quite random, yeah, but mostly people. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any time of the day that you is your favorite to take a picture? Morning or night, or not necessarily?
That is a very important question. If we go back to the first slide that I explained, lighting is very important. So for me, I love to take pictures before 10 a.m. in the morning, because that's where light is the most abundant from the sun, and it's nice to be outside. Especially in country, Indonesia, it is very hot. So in the noon time, like say 12 o'clock, it will be too hot to be outside. So 8, 9 a.m. is the best, because too hot yet, but the sunlight is quite abundant for me to take more pictures with natural lighting.
I think finally I want to ask, where is your favorite photograph taken at?
I think I like to take photos when I travel. So wherever I travel, I would say, but my favorite places to take pictures is the nature. be it the beach or the mountain. And one of my favorite place to take picture is in Switzerland, because the nature is just too beautiful. Without the person in the picture, it is still a memorable photo. So yeah, I love photography when it comes to traveling, especially.
Cool. Thank you so much. I think that's it from us. I hope it's useful for everyone who is listening, who just listen. And Sharon, you're more than welcome to come and teach again at any point if you're free.
Thank you. It's been fun actually teaching something that I'm passionate about.
Cool. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you so much. Bye.